Hi guys. So Liz Truss, the Foreign Secretary, was challenged by Nick Robinson of the BBC over the UK's shift away from alliances with European countries to those on the other side of the planet. Now, Truss, who until recently was the International Trade Secretary, gave examples of countries that the UK wants to move closer to in regards to trade. I and others have said before, no logically thinking nation on earth would put up trade barriers with its closest neighbours. But Brexit Britain did. Let's hear what she has to say about alternatives to the European Union.
Because another case you made for Remain, which is relevant to your job now, you said when you're speaking for 500 million people, that really carries weight. In other words, if Britain is in the EU, partnered by all those countries, you, Liz Truss, said that carries real weight. The truth is, there is a danger in diplomacy, isn't there? That we are, just in diplomatic terms, little Britain unless we can get alliances with our European allies.
We're the fifth largest economy in the world, and we now have a freedom to deploy our trade policy, our diplomatic heft, and our defence and security policy at the same time. What I am seeing, Nick, is that countries want to work with us. I was recently in Malaysia, Thailand and Indonesia. These are vital countries. Indonesia has the fourth largest population in the world. These are countries that we can now do much more with because we are free to be able to do that. And the fact is the European Union is quite a clunky operation. You've got to get agreement now across 27 countries, and it's not delivering those type of trade deals.
It's not delivering those types of trade deals. Isn't it interesting that she said that the European Union is a clunky entity or whatever? Did she believe this back when she was a Remainer before the referendum? It would be nice to have actually asked her at the time and compare it to what she thinks today and why she changed her mind. I'd love for somebody to actually ask her, why did you change your mind? What was it about Brexit that changed your mind? Obviously, she's a career politician, so she went with the flow. But she said a number of things here. Now, she said about, when she was a Remainer, the European Union, you're representing 500 million people. That's true. And if we look at the trade deals that have been signed, the European Union, when it's signing trade deals, takes time. They're slow. But that's a positive thing because you need to put time and effort into doing your trade deals. Liz Truss, a Brexiteer, has not put time or effort into them. And that's why British farmers are angry. Australian and New Zealander farmers are very happy because they benefited. And when she said that these countries want to do trade deals with us, of course, because you're not going to stand up for Britain. You're going to compromise on everything. So yes, of course they want to do trade deals with you because they're going to be able to sell their goods into your market and you're not going to be able to sell really anything. Now, she highlighted Indonesia here, and I want to show you something. Part of this whole Brexit mentality is to move away from trading with Europe, which is insane because most countries trade with their neighbors. The United States trades mainly with Canada and Mexico. New Zealand, Australia trade mainly with each other and other countries in Asia. That's how it works. European countries trade mainly with their neighbours. Britain did the same until recently. But Brexit Britain wants to go in the opposite direction. Now, she mentioned Indonesia, you can see here, and I'll leave a link in the description. Annual GDP in 2020 for Indonesia was over $1 trillion. For Germany, which is used to be a massive trading partner for Britain, $3 trillion. Almost $4 trillion. But what's more important is the GDP per capita. You can see here in 2020 for Indonesia, it was almost $4,000. In Germany, $46,000. So what is Indonesia going to buy from Britain? Cars? Well, if you look at the GDP per capita, that's a problem. What are you going to sell? Services? Expensive services? It seems more likely that Indonesia is going to benefit from this than Britain. But that's what Brexiteers are talking about, or are all about. Also, if we look at this as the Index of Countries by Human Development Index, we can see here the United Nations Development Programme compiled the Human Development Index of 189 countries in the annual Human Development Report. The index considers the health, education and income in a given country to provide a measure of human development which is compared between countries and over time. Now, let's take, for example, Indonesia. We'll get to Indonesia in a moment, but these are the top countries. Norway, Ireland, Switzerland, Hong Kong, Iceland, Germany, Sweden, Australia, the Netherlands, Denmark, Finland. So a lot of these countries are within the European Union. And Liz Truss thinks it's better to move away from that. So where is Indonesia? Well, we have to go all the way down to position 107. It shares it with Bolivia and the Philippines. So once again, what is Liz Truss planning to sell to Indonesia? If their economy, some people are making a lot of money in Indonesia, but the vast majority of the population are not. This is just another case of selling something to the British public, trying to convince them that this is a good idea, when in reality it's a disaster. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.